Hello, this is John, and I wanted to take a few minutes to show you how to import and work with Helios in your project. I'm going to start out with an empty Unity project here, and first thing I want to do is import Helios into the project. So I've got a copy of the beta here I'm going to put in. So we're just going to decompress and install this real quick as soon as it finishes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and install everything, but you'll notice that there are some folders that are operating system specific. So if you're on Windows, you don't have to install OS X, and vice versa. If you're on OS X, you don't have to do Windows. So mainly under the bin ffmpeg folder, and then under the resources, render textures, there's a couple of different places where you've got different operating systems set up. But I'm going to go ahead and import the whole package and let that come in. It should just take a couple more seconds to bring everything over. Almost there. Okay, so now Helios has been fully imported into your project. So I told you that you could select, or that you could unselect those folders that you didn't want. You can also come to Window, Helios, and remove Windows resources or remove OS X resources, and it'll tell you what you, or show you what you need to do. So for the sake of demonstration, I've got a demo scene that we can look at. I've got two demo scenes that come in the package. One is a 2D demo, which is a 2D camera rig for traditional, screenshotting video. The second is the one that we want to focus on here, which is the 3D demo. So let's go ahead and open that up. And you'll see the demo scene is pretty simple. It comes with a terrain, a skybox, and a light. It also comes with the Helios rig, which is the camera rig you see here. So as you can see, it's 6 cameras set up in a cubic array, and that's the main setup of Helios. You've got all of your cameras. In the demo scenes, we have an optional logo that's attached, so if you want to take that out, you can. And each camera is set up to push data over to a render texture. So we've got some different render textures set up at different qualities. So what you want to do is look at the Helios scripts. There's a few different ones. There's the main Helios script here. Then we have another one, which is the Helios session recorder. That's what we use to record camera movements for more accurate playback during the actual offline render phase. And then we have a Helios controller and a Helios look. The Helios controller is just a basic character motor, and the Helios look is an orbit camera type of looking system. So for the sake of our demo, we're going to go through a couple of the things here. So if you just want to quick and dirty get started, we can do that by first setting our working folder. Now I already have it set up to a scratch drive on my disk. You want to be careful not to put this inside your Unity folder, because the way that the camera works, it captures images, and as soon as it stops, Unity is going to try to import those images. So if you've got thousands of images trying to import, it can kind of halt Unity for a while. So I just have it set to a temp drive, and at the root of my drive I call Helios temp, and I choose that. So if I just wanted to go record something, I can just click cameras armed, turn that on, and click play, and there we go. Helios is recording. So you'll see the frame count happening in red over to your right. Okay, I'll go ahead and stop my scene. So now if we go over to my Helios temp drive that we looked at a second ago, you'll see we have an array of images, and these are set up in the equirectangular image format that we're going to use for 3D video. So that's what we recorded a few seconds ago. So if you just want to get up quick and go it real quick, this is the best way to do it. Just arm the cameras and click play. However, because Helios is an offline renderer, that's probably not going to work out for you, because when you want to start running at a higher quality, we're just running a preview at 480. But if you wanted to run it desktop, and you try walking around your scene, you're going to start noticing some lag. So your ability to make really precise movements with your character and move them around, you start to lose that. So to get around that, I have put together what is called the session recorder. The session recorder is a piece that you can run before you go into offline render mode, and it allows you to record all of the movement of your Helios rig, which is controlled by your Helios controller. So what I want to do is I want to turn Save Session on, and I specify a session name. We'll just call it my session. I want to go ahead and save audio, so if I had some music playing or some creatures that were speaking, I'd be able to capture that now. And I don't want to capture mouse X and mouse Y. That kind of creates some weird effects in the 3D camera. That's really more there for the 2D camera. Okay, so we've got that turned on, and now we're just going to click play. And I'm going to go explore my scene. So you notice I am moving the mouse around, and the camera is rotating around and such. But when we go into playback mode, so I'm going to stop the scene. So we recorded about 600 frames. So I'm going to turn these off, and I'm going to go back to Helios, and I'm going to leave camera armed off. I just want to watch it in preview. So when I click play, you're going to notice all that looking around that I was doing didn't get recorded. So we only captured the actual position vectors of the camera, which is good for 3D. Okay, so there's our, here we go. Okay, so we're happy with that. That was a good preview for me. That showed the scene that I wanted. So now I'll go ahead and say camera armed and click play. And it's going to take that track that we recorded and feed that into the offline render engine. As you can see here, it's making its way through, recording the 600 and something odd frames. So we'll just let this go. I'm probably going to pause the video here just for the sake of brevity. Okay, so Helios has completed its offline render phase, so I'll go ahead and click OK. Now if we go and look in our directory, go ahead and close this real quick, you'll see we've got all of our 600 and something frames there. So if we just kind of preview through these, you'll get to kind of preview the animation. Now this is on Mac OS. I don't think you really have this preview feature like you do on Windows. But you get to see the general movement. So what we want to do now is take our still images and bring those into the video. So because I recorded an audio track, and when I was running the session recorder down here before, I said save audio. If I go to select a soundtrack file, you'll find my session sound file. So that's now going to be played back in the video that we create. Now, the settings like capture rate and clip length, we can go over those later, but just to get a video going, we're going to click create video. So it's going to tell us, Helios is compiling our video. It could take a bit, depending on, the quality settings and how many frames there were. That went pretty quick. And now it's opened up the spatial media metadata injector. And this is a tool provided by Google to inject the media, the spatial metadata we need to actually upload this to YouTube. So if we click open here and browse to our new file, which is here, and again, this is an OS X thing, you can just hit spacebar to preview. Here is our video. This is what we're going to be uploading. Okay, so we're happy with that. That's the one we want. Now we want to specify that we're doing a spherical projection, and that or a spherical grid and equirectangular projection, and we'll click Save As, and we'll just take the suggested name. That's what it wants to do, and then we'll click Quit. So now if we browse to our folder, you'll see we have our original file, we have our source files, and then we have the one with the 3D metadata injected. So let's upload this to YouTube and give you a sense of how this works. So we'll just do this on my YouTube account. So we'll go, we'll say upload, and we'll browse to our new file and get the upload and the process going. Now this was a very short, this is probably a second and a half of video, so it's going to process pretty quickly. If you're doing a 5 or 10 minute video, it's going to take substantially longer, but this is just to show how Helios works. So the processing is almost done. And okay, so we'll say, yeah, we'll use that thumbnail. And once it's done, we'll click publish. Now YouTube can take up to an hour to process the 3D portion of the processing. Sometimes it gets done faster, sometimes or not. So this is going to be a bit of a gamble if this is already in 3D. But let's see. Okay, yeah, so it's already in 3D. So now here's our video. So we got 12 seconds, so I can grab the mouse and pan around, look up and down. Now, again, we did a low quality preview sample, so this is at 480. Ideally you're going to want to do probably at least desktop quality, but we can just pause the video and we can grab the wheel and spin everything around. Now if you were looking at this same video on your iPhone or Google Cardboard or an Oculus or a Vive, you would just use your head movement to pan around for the movement. But that's in a nutshell how the Helios